I don't really need those stories anymore, and I could remember them very well. So where do I go out from here? There. By the way, do you remember?
I'm gone.
Do you remember these guys? I do. I never was able to understand what was happening here. I wonder, maybe we could do something. Rake Chaser. Malric. Did I hear his name before? You recall Adizol, something, asking you to not trouble him again unless you were coming to challenge him. Adizol nods his head when he sees you are back again. Here to cross blades this time or bother me with question? I don't know, maybe I should fight him. It looks like the only thing I can do. I want to fight a duo? Tear that candid fop into boss. Show him how it's done. Yeah, I don't think so, but... The young man's eyes gleam like burning eyes. A frigid half-smile creeps over his lips. Excellent, you catch only a blur of motion before his saber is readied. Do your best not to bleed on my boots, will you? Behind him, a filthy robed figure is watching you with greedy eyes. But if I cannot die? Maybe that's the trick, I cannot die. Wait, no. Can we move just a little bit here? Thank you. I don't mean to... I have which weapon? Ah, yeah, that one. It's fine. Oh no, she's healing me. No, it's a duel. Grace, it's a duel. But technically, I can't die, so she keeps healing me.
How may I? Pleasure.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he would kill me and I would just, you know, rise up again and then something would happen, but alright. Do you have anything? Oh, you have just this?
I'm gone.
The man sees you approach, and his sore-ridden face becomes wrought with worry. He begins to back away from you. The man suddenly flees in a flurry of corpse flies and dirty brown robes.
I'm gone.
I do not understand what happened. I mean, he didn't seem to be involved. That's curious. Welcome back, people. So I was running around in the game, basically doing nothing because I don't know what to do. I have no idea I did have no idea how to progress this game, so I went to the Goldsman, I don't know, you name it, and then basically I had again to search for help, because I didn't know what to do. Apparently I have missed something very important, that's in the rooms, the private rooms here in the festive hall. So when I talked to Morte last time, asking him what we should do, he actually directed me towards the fest hall, but he was talking to me about somebody. He was talking, saying we should talk with somebody there, and then he made an assumption that somebody could make a portal to reach Ravel. And that's why I've been gravitating towards the Godsman, because I don't know, maybe that portal was their secret project, or maybe do a quest for them. I mean, they make things, right? So I thought, well, they're gonna make the portal. Well, turns out that I have not explored a whole area in here. There are common rooms. I think they call them common rooms, where we can sleep, because Nameless One here was a sensate before, so he was my Nameless One is not a sensate, but he was around here. He would probably sleep here and train here and la-di-da, la-di-da. I've always thought that the common rooms, I've been there once, I believe, where for everybody, you just go there and sleep. It's like an inn, right? Well, no, because apparently, hey, Dakon, you're right. Because supposedly there is one room amongst all the room in the resting area that is mine, or previous Nameless One's room. Now, I do not remember when this was said, that I specifically had a room there. It was said that the Nameless One was a sensate, but I didn't understand that he had a private room. If I knew, I would have searched it. Well...
All right.
Okay, I thought I've never been here then. I thought I had been here. What? Let's talk to her directly. Come on. The attractive young woman smiles pleasantly. Greetings, sir. She closes her eyes and flips through a large ledger, stopping at what seems to be a random page and opening her eyes once more. Ah, here's your room key. She hands you a small key. The easternmost chambers. Been waiting quite some time for your return. Would you like to rest now, sir? Yeah. Okay, I missed all of this. I wish it was made clearer that I had to come here, because, for example, it would be normal for somebody that is a sensate if you accept to be again a sensate, but me, I didn't, so I wouldn't even dream to come in here to rest. Kind of. It was a little bit confusing, and I wish somebody just said something like, oh, have you come to check into your room, but not here. Actually, Splinter probably. I wish he could have said something. The problem is that some people recognize you and some others don't. There's also that. That's starting to be a little bit weird. What do you mean waiting for my return? The clerk gives you a strange look. My ledger indicates that this is your key, sir, and has been for a good long time. So she's recognizing me by sight. Okay. Okay. So... if that is not so, then perhaps I'm merely mistaken. Would you like to rest now, sir? Yes, please. Okay, we are also resting. Well, I think the people were tired, right? Fine. Yeah, we have rested for 8 hours. Now, how... well, they could have teleported you inside your room. That would have helped. Now we go everywhere. What is this? Ah, you can see a small enclosed patio through these glass doors. Fancy. Something there? Okay, let's steal. Why not? Well, at least the game is moving forward, because I was just running around. I've been running around for an hour doing nothing. Technically nothing. I mean, trying to find something. Oh! There's a lot of stuff here that I can just take. Oh, some healing items. Oh, this one. Another one of these. Cockroach charm. The recipient temporarily gains the protection of the cockroach. Their skin hardens, taking on the strength of a suit of chainmail armor, and the charmed individual becomes difficult to squash, giving them added protection versus crushing attacks. Fantastic. Thrice blind charm. To use this charm, the caster must select a target within his line of sight, then, while remaining focused on the target, untie the charm. The target vision will turn black for several minutes. Okay, cool. Scroll of Fire and Ice, dodecahedron. This is what I was supposed to find, right from the beginning. This heavy dodecahedron, about the size of both your fist ball together? What? Seems inexplicably familiar to you. Its texture is cold and smooth, but whether it's metal or stone you cannot tell. A certain, almost intangible tension runs over the object, as if it were ready to spring into the air at any moment. Okay. I don't know, we will have to examine this. Or maybe take it to somebody, I don't know. Watch me waste time. Okay, I'm taking everything. Now I will have to put the inventories in some kind of order. I'm serious. Alright, I sorted the guys a bit. Dropped some items around the room. It's fine.
Done.
Door is locked. There is no lock, latch, or other obvious way to open this sealed storage closet. Can you try, Hannah?
Might as well.
Oh, it's closed by a mysterious mechanism. Fine.
All right.
Can we enter in all the rooms at this point? Why not? Oh, hello, sorry. Oh, they have nothing. Except for there. Maybe there's something. Hello. This person seems moderately surprised to see you. How odd. I was certain we had locked the door. In any case, I would ask that you please leave us be for the moment. Yeah, I suppose. So, I wish it was clearer that which one was my room. See, okay. Can you try and open it? Maybe?
Might as well. Got it.
Let's steal. Oh, that's locked too? Yeah, I'm selling all that stuff. This one as well? There's nothing, and there's a little thing down here I cannot get to. Okay. Oh, there's a handkerchief behind there. Okay, I'm not gonna touch it.
I'm gone.
Let's get everywhere. Look at this bed, it's huge. Unfulfilled desire. The one before you is incredibly attractive. There is some intangible aura about her that makes you want to speak to her. As you step up to her, she glances at you coyly, then she gives a knowing smile. Greetings? You want something, yes? She hisses the yes, drawing it out slowly, sensually from between her teeth. I can help. Name your desire and I shall provide it. I love the festo. Really, Morte? The woman ignores Morte, her eyes locked with yours. She smiles, awaiting a response. I want you. I want weapons of power. I want magical items. I want magical spells. I want my memories returned, all of them. What do you have that I might want? All that you might want lies within my reach. What little I do not possess I can obtain. Speak your desire. There is something that I want? Oh, I want all my memories returned, all of them. She smiled. Much may be forgotten in a lifetime, and much more in several lifetimes. I can help you. She studies your face closely. Explain to me the ways in which you want these memories. Speak to me in your craving, and I shall speak to you of it to price. What proof do you have that you could return them to me? She doesn't seem to move, but suddenly her hand is touching your forehead, a finger dragging along your temple. Only this, you feel as if the fog in your head has been peeled away briefly enough to catch a glimpse of remembrance, but before you can focus on the memory, the fog rolls back in. Only this, only tell me why you desire it. Speak to me your craving, and I shall speak to you of the price. Describe the way in which you want your memories back. What? As you speak, her smile fades and she leans forward attentively, her eyes ravaging your features as you speak. Her presence compels you to speak more than you normally would. And after a few moments, her eyes flutter close and she gives a sharp intake of breath. Suddenly, the desire for your memories begins to wane. Your want slowly drains out of you, leaving only a cold emptiness in its wake. She opens her eyes again as you stop speaking. What is wrong, traveler? Do you no longer want your memories returned to you? What have you done to me? What have I done to... What has she done? She seems perplexed. Whatever do you mean? Despite her innocent demeanor, you're certain something unnatural has occurred. She has somehow siphoned off some part of your desire, stolen it away for some ghastly collection of wants, or perhaps to feed upon. Had you finished speaking of your desire, you're certain it would have been lost forever to you. Oh, maybe she's a demon and she's feeding off... She's a demon. What? The subject of this portrait is only vaguely humanoid. Young woman. That is locked. A small enclosed courtyard lies outside this window.
Right.
Anna, can you steal stuff from her, please?
Right.
I shall take your money then. We're done? So she has a private room as well, I suppose, but these guys seem like they're bunking here. Which makes more sense. She's coming out? Okay then, so we found what we needed to find, which is the most important thing, so we can proceed. Let me take a look at it before I forget. Oh, we can use it, perfect. By the way, I don't know if I recorded when I did this, but I wanted to buy the Codex of the Inconceivable again, because I didn't know what to do. Because I didn't buy it in my reloaded version of the game, and guess what? It was not in the shop inventory. That's really sketchy. It disappeared from the game. So I hope that wasn't meant to do anything. It probably was meant to do something. Maybe the Codex of the Inconceivable would have actually given a head to that headless guy. I have no idea. It's just... I don't know, that something has happened with the game at some point. I thought I'd fixed it, but maybe not. Just so you know. This heavy dodecahedron, blah blah blah. We already read that. Let's examine it better. Upon closer examination, you realize that each side of the dodecahedron is a plate that can be twisted clockwise or counterclockwise. It appears to be a puzzle box or combination lock, as each of the pentagonal plates has 5 possible positions. The dodecahedron has no less than 244,130,625 settings. It would take every second of the next 77 odd years to hit all the combinations, but then you might just get lucky and stumble onto a solution in minutes. As you methodically twist the cold grey facets of the dodecahedron, a strange sensation forms at the base of your skull. Your hands seem to move of their own accord, turning the object and spinning its facets with mechanical precision. You've done this before, you knew the combinations once, and you also become aware that there's a certain danger within the object, whether it's from simple traps or something less mundane, though you cannot recall. In moments you have what might be the first 4 sides locked into their proper places. As you begin to twist the 5th side of the dodecahedron, you recall a cunning blade trap that would snap out to lash at a meddler's hands. Wow, slashing their wrists and severing fingers, you avoid the trap with the proper number of rotations, certain that you've made progress in the unraveling of the object's secret. Okay. After avoiding the dodecahedron's springing blades, you slowly puzzle out the next series of facet positions. As you start to turn the 9th side of the dodecahedron, you suddenly remember a second trap. Jets of toxic gas that would form a billowing cloud of little corrosive vapor around a curious meddler. You circumvent the trap with the correct amount of twists, positive that you've nearly unlocked the dodecahedron. You circumvent the dodecahedron's poisonous gas trap and begin your work on the final facet positions. Just as you're locking the 12th pentagon into place, you recollect Sorcerer's runes hidden within the dodecahedron that would blast the unwitting holder with bolts of magical lightning. After disarming the trap with the correct number of facet rotations, the dodecahedron clicks and begins to open in your hands. The dodecahedron splits once, twice, and eventually unfolds itself impossibly into a perfectly rectangular tablet the size of a large book. Etched into its surface are a series of bizarre symbols. It looks to be a code of language that you feel should be familiar to you, but it's not. Further examination of the tablet reveals that by twisting the pentagonal facets that are now upon the underside of the tablet, different pages may be displayed across the tablet's face. You finally... That's a pad. You finally realize that the dodecahedron is a tome of journal of some sort. Until I learn to read this language, I might as well just put it away. So I cannot understand it because it's just a bizarre conglomerate of symbols. Okay.
Updated my journal.
I was able to open the trapped dodecahedron. I found, and it appears to be some sort of tome or journal. I cannot decipher the strange language it's written in. However, perhaps there's a scholar or linguist in the first hall that can help me. Yes, there might be. These are the... I've never done the lectures. That's advocate. These are where the lectures are, I suppose, right? Maybe I could do that on my own time, if I have any time, that is. Phew. A linguist. Wait a second. Maybe not here, but...
All right.
Was that guy a linguist? Was he? I don't remember. Where was he? No. God, I think...
All right.
Maybe down here? Was it you? Yes. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. I never understood why there was nothing you could do with this. Phew. I've already talked to him. I would have you know that I am a scholar and linguist, sir. While I shall happily entertain any question regarding my field of study, language and the like, I can be of no help to you in other matters. Unfold the dodecahedron to a page with writing on it and ask if he can translate it. He takes the unfolded dodecahedron in his hands. It's something alien, right? And examines it closely. This language is a long dead one, known to virtually no one. I believe my father, a linguist like myself, knew this language and may well have been the only man in Sigil at the time that could understand it. I recognize it from his notes, but I cannot translate it. Do you have those notes still? Finam shakes his head. They'll be of no use to you if you're looking to translate anything, and the few actual books he had pertaining to that language disappeared around the time of his murder, I believe. Your father was murdered? Finam nods. Strangled he was. He had left to tutor someone. He taught various languages to supplement his research income and was discovered dead in a side chamber of the civic festival. The killer was never found. This was perhaps 50 years ago now. I was but a child. Discovered dead in a side chamber of the civic festival. He knew the language though, and could teach it? Surely he did and could. Were he alive today, my father was said to be a great teacher. I've his skill with language, but not his patience for others, sadly. He's there. He's interred at the mortuary.
Updated my journal.
Why no? His ashes are kept here. He points to a bronze urn sitting atop a cabinet beside a bouquet of purple flowers. Why? A wry smile crosses Finan's lips. A necroscope, are you? Speak with the dead? Necroscope. That's such a cool word. He suddenly frowns. I have no wish to speak of these things any longer. Okay, bye. You'll have to excuse me, sir. Farewell. I don't know, I would be interested if I were you. Just to watch at least. I've already talked with the spirit once. Now I have this new option. Describe to him the writing from the folding dodecahedron. Ask if he knows the language. Yes, I know that tongue. I was a linguist and scholar, you see. I was murdered by a student of mine, murdered so that I could not teach another the language that I taught him. The tongue of the Uyu, it was one of the rarest in the multiverse. I knew of none who spoke it, save myself and that one damnable murderous student. Can you help me learn that language? I could teach you this language, yes, it would please me to do so, in fact, if only to spite that bloody-handed student of long ago. First, tell me what languages you do speak. Okay. Learn what you can from the spirit. As the spirit speaks to you of the lost language of the Uyu, there is a throbbing sensation in your temples as a memory begins to surface. Memories of this language. You recall letters, words, phrases until, like a spire wind, blowing away the blanket of poisonous smog over the great foundry, the language is once more revealed to you in its entirety.
Updated my journal.
There is another memory, though, bubbling to the surface, a darker one. Its presence troubles you somehow, fills you with unease and unexplained pangs of guilt. Maybe I killed this guy. Maybe. I mean, another nameless one killed this guy. I don't know. Allow the memory to surface.
Updated my journal.
At last you recall Finn Andlai himself. You remember his gentle voice, his kind manner, his schooling. He's schooling you in the ancient language of the Uyu. You also remember your scarred, gnarled hand wrapped around his frail throat, crushing his larynx, and thus ensuring that the secret contents of your journal, hidden and tri-strapped in a dodecahedral puzzle box and penned in the obscure language of the Uyu, would be forever safe from prying eyes. Should I tell him? But it's not me who killed him, technically. It's another me. It was me who murdered you.
Updated my journal.
The spirit is silent for a time, the ashes rustling softly within their urn. When it speaks once more, its voice is full of sorrow. But why? And why would you come to me once more? Did you forget what you had been taught? But he doesn't recognize me, right? Probably because he has no eyes, alright, I'm willing to. He's a spirit, he doesn't recognize me. How much unrecognizable from one another are the various nameless one? I don't think much. Because otherwise it would have... Well... I don't know. It seems weird to me that some people recognize him and some others don't. Just a little bit. It plays in favor of the game, but sometimes it doesn't. No, well, yes, it is difficult to explain, but it must have been a former self of mine that murdered you. Each time I die, I reawaken, as if from long sleep, but having forgotten everything, who I was or what I've done. I think I understand. I sense your regret and would forgive you. May peace be with you, pupil of Hold, and may you prove kinder in this life than in the one which saw an end to mine. Wow. He's very merciful. Thanks. By the way, do you want your book? I have a book that should belong to you. Okay, so seriously? He's still searching for that book. Finam, I have it. Right? I think I do. Is it? Yes, I have it. What's happening with this book? Somebody please explain. It's probably another bug. Or maybe it's part of the unfinished business and it's not working. Anyway, the modron bug is not related to my mod. My one and only mod, actually. Fun fact. So you really don't want it. Fine. I guess I should let it go. But I'm afraid that I would put it in here, but I'm afraid that it would disappear and maybe... I don't trust this game anymore. I'm enjoying it very much, but these bugs have put me off a little bit. You know, when you can lose items and such. You have the cold grey dodecahedron up to examine it carefully, now aware of the various deadly traps it holds for the incautious user and how to avoid them entirely. Having learned the dead language of the Uyu, you'll at last be able to decipher its contents. Why it reminds me of Uryu, something like that. Was it from Myst or something? I don't know. It's singing to me about Myst, but I don't want to say something completely wrong.
Updated my journal.
The tablet turns out to be a journal, yes. One kept by some prior incarnation of yourself, it would seem, and not an altogether sane one either. There are only a handful of completely coherent sections. I always seem to find the journals after I've done the deeds. I don't know if it's my particular nameless one's fate or just me being bad at game. Browse. We have Whispering Shadow, a female ghost, hiding something within your body. Ooh, I'm thinking about the old lady here. Paranoid ranting, accursed tattoos, dreams unravel, danger of names, the killing in the festal, the murder of one who tried to help me, a cryptic answer from an unknown source. How do we do this? From one, Whispering Shadows. The whispers are not the shadows moving. They are speaking, plotting, talking to each other. I can understand some of what they say. You do? Female ghost. The book tells me things, whispers things. It tells me to avoid the ghost girl, avoid her. I don't know her and she torments me.